What follows light and shadow is silence. That silence breaks. I am summoning you as a new age begins. I see sapient life turn to each other. They remember how to look to the stars. They remember curiosity. They remember how to thrive. But they have forgotten. They forgot we were here long before the Traveler. They forgot that they need us. But they are fated to remember. I will remind them.
I'm sure you will, but not through me. Find someone else. My will is my own.
I think it's safe to say this is what's disrupting our beacons. I've seen primitive trains like this in old ruins. Never liked the look of them. These readings have a bearing. Gravimetric distortions leading out past orbit. Like footprints. Like a trail we're meant to follow. Guardian, I'm sending coordinates your way. It appears we have an invitation. Guardian, welcome to Kepler, as the Vanguard Archive calls it. The gravimetric distortions we tracked from the EDZ are tangled in an excess of dark matter. In our records, this planetoid was confirmed to be unoccupied and inert. But these readings indicate a singularity. Something's keeping this planetoid stable and our matter intact, but... Guardian, there's a black hole here on Kepler. This is dangerous. If at any point this singularity destabilizes, it could swallow us and take the entire Sol system with it. We need to find whoever sent our invitation. They need our help. Guardian, I can see you've got Eliksni hostiles incoming. I'm picking up what I think is a distress signal. I've been able to isolate a radio signal through the telemetry. It has some primitive decryption on it. Should only take me a moment. Watch your head. I've never seen Eliksni move like this. Mind their vertical, Guardian.
Mayday! Lodi transmitting. Strange matter detected. Singularity opening near local HI and NHI population.
I can't tell when this Mayday was sent. Whoever made it understands the danger this place is in. But this signal's too weak to have reached us on Earth. This isn't our invitation.
Ikora, it looks like we've got a blockade up ahead.
A singularity, a distress, and now another ancient train. But how do they all connect? More importantly, how can we help? The status of the singularity will worsen with time. We can't do anything about that right this moment. But discovering a locking mechanism this complex and a radio transmission that sounds human means we could be on the precipice of encountering another pocket of civilization. By my triage, the most effective thing we can do right now is find the source of the distress signal. The trail we're following leads past the train, then scatters. We'll need to get through to find who called for help. The mechanism here appears to be missing some pieces. I've tracked materials nearby that closely match the frequency of the device. Find them, Guardian.
Lodi transmitting. Status moonsick. Adrift. Odysseus protocol active.
Odysseus Protocol. We've heard that before. Wait, there's a backlog. Keep moving, Guardian. I'm going to see if these transmissions can give us any more information. Dark matter spike in your vicinity. Could be one of the gravimetric distortions Drifter was talking about. Guardian, you all right? Your vitals stabilized. Oh, must be a fluke.
Well, this sure is new. All your vitals appear to be in order, but your molecules are moving unbelievably fast.
Guardian, this energy pattern is distinct from your expected paracausal signature. It matches the dark matter readings from when we landed. It appears you've managed to somehow fuse with dark matter. why send a train to invite us to a black hole? It seems whoever sent our invitation values consistency and catastrophic interference.
About that. I got info, but you're not gonna like it.
Try me.
The gravimetric distortions, the dark matter, the weird train. An invitation? There's only one group of jokers I know who get up to those kinds of theatrics. The Nine.
Well, that certainly is a theory. Although I would expect to have already heard from the emissary if that was the case. I'm going to rerun the telemetry to see if I can find another radio transmission. Get us some answers.
Achieved precarious stabilization, but still request evacuation due to hostile NHI. If we can't close the singularity, we're pulling everyone in with us. Anyone? You out there?
Odd. The timestamp on this transmission doesn't make sense. It comes after the Mayday, but the timestamp says it was recorded many months before. Either someone is intentionally trying to scramble these transmissions, or the singularity is causing more problems than we thought. It's the same Eliksni combatants from earlier. They are persistent. Stay vigilant and don't let them come back again.
I thought I recognized those symbols. This is the House of Exile. The last time we encountered these Eliksni was on Luna. They're called the Exiles because each of them were exiled from their original house. That's the last of them, and we've got what we need. Let's head back to the train and see if we can't get past that blockade.
No more transmissions on the backlog, and the timestamps are all off. Keep heading for the train. Maybe we can triangulate a location. Suppose you're right, Drifter, and we are dealing with the Nine. You have the most experience with them. What did you observe in your interactions?
Rumor has it the Nine are extra-dimensional. Caught in the gravity of Sol's heaviest hitters. You know, planets, moons, stuff like that. There are aliens, and there are aliens. And these guys are aliens. They don't live in this dimension, which means they can mess with you.
The Nine can scheme all they like, but until they affect the real world, let's not give them more power than they actually possess.
Trespass the domain of the once exile, chosen of the Giver. I am Archon Prime, sovereign of this orbit, speaker of the voice invisible.
Interesting. That Elixir wasn't an Archon. I wonder what that was all about.
In the wake of destruction, one exile falls, and three more rise.
Hold on. That same voice, this Archon's voice, is coming from another Elixir. I'm not sure what's going on.
The grand design bids us destroy them. Bring death to the deathless. Fulfill the destiny of the House of Exile. Strengthen the singularity and ascend.
I still don't understand how that voice jumped from one exile to another. The Witness could possess, but that required a civilization's worth of darkness. Could something have drawn them here? Maybe the high concentration of dark matter is boosting this Archon connection to darkness.
Darkness is about connection of memory, but it doesn't work like that. And dark matter, in spite of the name, has nothing to do with darkness.
So this is something else entirely. One of the Archon's lackeys dropped something.
Ophiuchus's energy readings are spiking. This is a container of dark matter, the same connected to the Singularity. Don't let that go.
Hold it. Who do you work for, and what's your business here?
Telemetry originates at this location, but the signal is weak.
What are you doing here?
We're Guardians, from Earth's Vanguard. Circumstances suggest we were invited, but we don't know who sent the invitation.
Earth?
Have you been here a while?
I have journal entries tallying 4 weeks, but my 5 o'clock shadow says a day. Something's wrong with time. It's my job to investigate. You picked up something that's special to the people here. Use it. I'll see you on the other side. We can talk there. You can, tell me all about Earth.
That's the man who sent the distress signal. But he didn't seem in distress.
Something's wrong with time.
I'm curious as to how our contact intends to fix it. But his observations seem to be correct.
And we just got here. There's probably a whole mess of time nonsense just around the corner.
Agreed. This train's temporal presence is concerning.
That's the least of our worries. The real head-scratcher is our new friend seeing the people here.
Ikora did say she suspected sentient life.
Sorry for all that earlier. My name's Lodi. My introductions aren't usually that rude. Come on, let me show you around. Your companion gave me a debrief about your mission before she insisted on meeting the scientists here.
Scientists?
Oh yeah, the Ionians are brilliant. They've been great hosts since I showed up here a few weeks back.
Objects from a different time were sent to us, like we were called or invited. Did you get one too?
Of sorts. I got a call of my own. I hope your ride was smoother than mine. Are you headed back to Earth after?
Are you asking for a ride?
It's just conversation. Appreciate the offer. I'm staying with the locals for a while. Time distortions all over this place. The Elixni make it hard to traverse further out. Fascinating, aren't they? You know, the language structure is similar to Finnish. Keep an eye out for the House of Exiles. They didn't like me getting close with my recorder. If you're here to sort out the time anomaly, it sounds like we're on the same side. I'll help you look into your calling card. You help the locals with some of the weightier tasks. You seem like you can handle yourself. First in a few words, I can appreciate that.
These Ionians were able to temporarily stabilize the singularity. They prevented their planet from splitting until someone could help. I'm as surprised as you they've eluded us for so long, but this place is shrouded in dark matter. It could have cloaked the presence of sentient life from the outside. Ghost, did you find the source of the distress signal?
We've made contact with Lodak here in the settlement. He's offered to help us look into our invitation if we help the people here. He seems trustworthy, but his presence here feels very convenient.
Yeah, by the look of him, I'd say he's as out of place as we are.
Let's get started. Make us proud.
You ready to bang knuckles?
Hello again. I'm here next time you need me.
Ghaul pulls an armada from Cabal systems to invade Earth, then...
They will come back. You will see. Each of these is a duty, a promise to follow through. Good luck. Take this with care and see it through. is no weapon stronger than another guardian by your side.
Hello? This is Lodi. Ms. Ray said you received my distress call. Ms. Ray asked that I contact the little Sputnik to work with you both on next steps.
Sputnik?
Is there something I should call you? Apart from Guardians, of course.
This is the Guardian. You can call them Guardian, thank you. I am called Ghost.
Pleasure to be working with you, Mr. Ghost. The Ionians are in less dire straits now, but if anything triggers the singularity, we risk losing the planetoid. Between a black hole on one side and the Archon on the other, the locals had no choice but to seal their settlement. They've been trying to track down that capsule you picked up for ages. Head to the big mechanism at the center of the village. The Ionians call it the Altar of Relativity.
Guardian, the trail we followed here to this planetoid is the strongest through that mechanism.
The singularity must be beyond there. Contained thanks to the Ionians. If Drifter's right, the source of our invitation and the source of the singularity are one and the same. I think the Nine are here. Keep this to yourselves for the moment. Our top priority is stabilizing this planetoid, unless the Nine plan to interfere. They're not a concern.
Lodi, we're at the altar.
Mr. Ghost, this is Lodi. Excellent. Go ahead and drink the contents.
Drink?
No, that can't be right. You do not want to do that. Just say again, do not drink the dark matter in that container. Pour the contents into the mechanism. Hold on, I was provided a diagram. I am so sorry. Ionian verbs change based on the size and shape of the container. I'm still getting a hang of the beverage cutoff. Seems to be somewhere around 2 liters. Anyways, the canister contents need to get poured into the mechanism, and all you need to do is drop it in. Guardian, Mr. Ghost, allow me to introduce you to Dean Rebecca, leader of the Ionians.
Dean Rebecca. I've never heard the name Dean. It's beautiful.
Well, the Ionians use a sort of academic hierarchy from what I can tell. And wait, you've never heard the title Dean before?
No. Is it an Ionian name?
No, they use it as a mark of high status here. Oh, and so you know, they haven't seen other humans in centuries. Be patient with them. Our presence here is tremendously significant. Translating what I can, the Dean's honored to encounter the first new humans in centuries. She says the Ionians' deity, the thing they call the Holy Anomaly, is on the other side of the altar, threatened by the Singularity. The capsule we put into the altar stabilizes rings of the lock to keep the Singularity contained. It's a collection of dark matter she called a Strangelet. You'll need to get through the lock if you want to find out what's on the other side. We'll need your muscle, Guardian.
So Lodi, tell me more about how you got here. The more we know, the better chance we can find a solution.
All I know is I woke up here 4 weeks ago in a singed suit. I don't remember how I got here. I know I'm from Earth, I remember my family, but not much else.
That sounds like how a light bearer would wake up, but you don't have a ghost.
No, I'm alive. You probably know more about this place than I do. But I do remember hearing Guardians have a complicated relationship with memory. Is there any truth to that?
That's a fairly common question. Guardians forget who we were before our first resurrection. We forget in exchange for the light.
Shame. Feels cruel.
Drifter, you brought them my message, capsized. Find my frequency. I'm not Neon.
No way. Orin. Neon. Orin, what happened to you? I thought you were locked in as the Nine's errand runner. You were gone.
Yes, but my memory is a mess. It's all vetiver. Oh, damn it. Rig transponder. You can pinpoint my location.
The hell, Orin? Why do you sound like you ate a dream journal?
Petrichor. Damn it. I am not adjusting to linear time well. I am no longer emissary. I quit.
You quit? Thought you'd ascended or something. Become a higher being. I didn't know you could quit being emissary.
Me either. But with the right motivation, anything is starlight. You'd be proud. I'm molted.
Oh, I have to know what you mean by molted.
Exactly what it sounds like. I wanted my body back. I wanted my will back.
We gotta find her. She only just found shoes, for Pete's sake. Got your location, Orin. Never thought I'd hear from you again.
Scrambled eggs. I meant to deliver a message, but can't remember what it is. I know the Nine will need a replacement emissary. They will not find one nearby on the X-axis. They will need to search a millennia up and down the Y.
My message found you. I'm Orin, once the Guardian, like you. When I last reached out to the Vanguard, I warned you of the Nine's fallibility. The results of that fallibility are in play now, I think. You will fix it, but how isn't clear. Everything I knew is scattered. My will cleaved from service and rough-hewn clay. It wasn't bloodless. But I know I chose this for a reason. I did. In my memory, when I touch my hand to the moment, I am overcome with dissonance, and another shape, buried in noise, assuming my place. I must speak sharpness to the Drifter. A tint on knowledge held, but still unknown. I'll need your help hunting down the fate that brought us here.
So, Orin, you quit and now you're just here?
Mitosis. Annoying you had to see me like this now. Scrambled eggs and someone else's shoes. How have you been?
Oh, busy. Feet planted on the ground more often than not. Seeing someone new these days.
Oh, good. Good for you. Can't say the same. I've been too busy corralling my electrons. Who are you seeing?
It's, Eris Morn.
You have a type, Drifter. I'm happy for you both. Really.
I hear you had a run-in with that Archon fellow. Or his cutouts, anyway. Apparently he's the leader of these exiled Eliksni, but nobody's seen him in a long time. A real recluse. The Ionians say he can speak through the mouths of his followers. Like some kind of psychic thing. But that's absurd, right? Have you seen this little ventriloquist act? Huh. Well, I'll believe it when I see it myself. I suggest you do a little bang and burn to draw out their leadership. Once we know exactly who we're dealing with, we can do a more realistic threat assessment. I haven't been very deep into the Exiles Accord. They aren't fond of visitors. This architecture seems a little out of the box.
We've dealt with Eliksni houses before, but this does feel different.
Lodi, I need to be frank. I don't buy your story.
Yeah. Well, you don't know the half of it. If I wasn't me, I also wouldn't buy my story.
What do you know about whatever brought you here?
Nothing. I woke up here in a singed suit after the most insane fall of my life. It seems the local Eliksni have developed a parallel form of teleportation. They're using dark matter to create portals. If we want to infiltrate their sphere of influence, we'll need that capability. Mr. Drifter says you've got the skills for a smash and grab, so I suggest we go loud. Get us a sample of that tech and we'll be in business.
This must be the House of Exile's new teleportation tech. It's mounted in an old cannon frame. That's handy. Scans show the power cell and space inverter have been tampered with. Those mechanisms have dark matter cores. They'll wear out fast. It looks like this mobile unit creates an entangled link between a jump pad and wherever you're aiming. Just be careful what you pointed at.
Good work out there. You've got some real moves. Normally, agents that skilled at wet work have checkered pasts. Makes me wonder how you came to be so dangerous. With expanded access, we can investigate those Eliksni in earnest, and find the truth about this so-called Archon. We've got some ideas on that. Catch up with me later to get started.
Guardian, you've got an incoming call.
Before the Giver was found to exiles, the long drift eroded our spirit of eons. Our catch was poisoned by ether hunger and treachery. But just when exiles were near our house, Death, the Giver's gravity reach led us to its dark matter. And inside, discovery of the voice invisible. Words of mind alone. The power to speak as one. And in Giver's reach, we also found Ionians. For many lives, we shared discovery. The ways of dark matter open to all. Integration and ether life for our house. Then came the Deathless Warriors. From beyond the Giver's orbit, strong, impressive, with power beyond stars. The Exiles share no hatred with you. We want only the gifts of the Giver. But if the Deathless steal dark matter from our house, they will be met with blades. All will perish who take what is freely given.
Guardian, I've made myself a contact within the Elixni ranks. Apparently not everyone is happy with the way things are being run.
You little sleuth.
That's the idea. Anyway, there's apparently a power station nearby feeding a lot of juice into something off-site.
Got it. I'm reading high levels of arc energy.
It's mixing with signatures matching the singularity.
All right, Guardian, this has to be the house's power plant. There's a massive current moving through the cables around us. And gravitons.
My informant Kielsk tells me that power is going straight into a warship.
If we can get to a power plant's controls while it's charging their ship, we can send a lethal surge to it from here before it ever leaves port.
Crafty. And it'll buy time to hunt down the Strangelet capsule in the Accord. If we stop the singularity from expanding, stabilize Kepler, maybe they'll stand down.
A fat chance we talk a psycho like that off a ledge. He's a true believer in whatever psychos believe in.
They aren't giving us many options. We need to reach the anomaly.
Deathless, why have you come? Glimpses are seen of your actions, but your motive ever shrouded. When my house found Saul, saw the great machine with your world, we left in defeated peace.
It looks like this station is actually drawing some form of power from these native cytocolonies. So, the slimes are their generators?
Deathless was foretold. See how they must kill as prophesied? Kiver Sight warned me of this final test. I'll be resilient, my house.
Guardian, patch me into a console and I can override that barrier.
Look alive, hero. They're piping in splinter mines. Crazy sons of crabs are gonna cause a damn cave-in.
You're on bomb defusal, Guardian.
Lavask sure likes to talk, making a show of us barging into his house. Maybe we pull his moxie out from under him and he lets some intel slip.
Unless he sees that coming. All this prophecy talk. Back in my day, you kill a fella fair without knowing the future.
You think he's really clairvoyant? Okay, Guardian, we need to find a way to overload that control panel.
Once we do, the immense surge of current will wreak havoc on whatever warship the house is trying to power up.
Probably why they tried to blow us up.
Okay, Guardian, we need to find a way to overload that control panel.
Once we do, the immense surge of current will wreak havoc on whatever warship the house is trying to power up.
Probably why they tried to blow us up. I guess they're trying to unplug. We should hustle up. I think you gotta roll up and do that ball thing. Go on.
Like vile Vex, the Deathless is violence-driven. They cannot be turned away by reasoned words. Only blood.
Mighty Archon, we hear your prophecy. The Deathless kneels before the Giver with your blessing. Just open the way.
Will what now?
This was not our tricks. You conspire with metal invaders to keep us from the Giver. To draw our house into folly. Exiles with it, their death is fated to be reborn.
What's your next plan? Stand there with the guns pointed at each other until someone gets cold feet?
So the Archon didn't take the bait, but he mentioned being kept from the Giver. Sounds like, despite their push to the Singularity, something's still cutting them off from it. That means we don't have to rush right in unless they make a move. Maybe there's somewhere else we can apply pressure.
You're a kid. Those things been shooting at you since you landed on this dump, and you still haven't pulled your piece.
That's right. Unlike you, I don't prefer a gun to solve my problems when questions work just as well.
Enough! We may have knocked out their power, but the Archon's still out there. We'll need to be ready when they make their next move.
You sure your informant ain't running us around in circles, Square?
Kiesk is risking a lot just to speak with me. And I've vetted them, of course.
Yeah, you're probably right. All those ones that tried to kill us are just bad apples.
People aren't all one way or another. That's what makes us interesting. I've been talking to that Drifter fellow. Not a name I'd self-apply, but I like him. He understands what it's like to be stranded far from home. Anyway, he was telling me about these aliens who are giving the Ionians such a hard time, the Elixni. Apparently, they normally live on something called ether. Huh. Seems like you already have some experience with it. Interesting. The locals say these Elixni augment their supply with dark matter. Who knows what physiological effects that's having. Might be the reason they're so hostile. I suggest you assess their production lines. If we learn how the dark matter is affecting them, it might give us some leverage. Team, I've got some intel from my informant.
Informant? Well, well. First it's a contact, then it's an informant. They're taking a liking to you.
Maybe a way to help the house calm down and see straight again. I'm sending coordinates, but keep on that heading.
Lodi, Drifter, checking in. How goes your recon on the House of Exile?
The Guardian's handling the situation well, but Miss Ray, to be honest, I don't like this. There has to be a way to de-escalate the situation.
I wouldn't be so sure about that. I've been watching the house from the derelict, and they are one ruthless group.
Do they appear to be in league with the Conductor? That would tell us something, at least.
Not sure who that is. I have to believe this Archon is a lone actor. I think this is where they're processing their ether. Maybe we can disable their machinery until the Ionians can correct the process.
Okay, I see it from up here. Derelict scanners are picking up all sorts of weird gravity fluctuations, and a whole heck of a lot of exiles.
Orin says these trains are like quantum-entangled objects, held in superposition across the fourth dimension.
Yeah, Orin says a lot of things no one understands.
We're through. Now to disable the Exile's dark matter refinery.
I wish it was as simple as talking to them. Last time I tried, I got shot at, and it wasn't my Elixni accent.
They get real touchy sometimes. Sensitive little crustaceans.
Guardian, I'm reading some highly charged energy through one of these pipelines. Lodi, did the Ionians ever explain why they stopped working with the House of Exile? From what I gather, it didn't end well.
I got to talking with one of the old pilots who gabbed on the subject a bit. Ionians tried to synthesize ether for the house.
Why? It's not a simple job. Leave it to those servitor garbage disposals. Matter goes in, ether comes out. Easy.
Except here, everything's imprinted with dark matter, which they apparently want to extract for a pure conversion to ether. The Ionians say it shouldn't be harmful, but the singularity seems to make it toxic to the elixir.
That's it!
You think us sick, but I am mighty. Exile is our teacher, our hope. Our rifles are many. Our will is anointed by the giver.
Guardian, it's supercharging the cannon. This is the house's central refinery. My scans are going a little haywire, but that can't be right. These pipes are operating at alarming pressures.
Hey team, I've seen those little flying bots play hot potato delivering dark matter down to your proximity.
I have an idea. Guardian, a concentration of dense matter could send the whole system over the edge. Let's look for those shanks. You were right, Lodi. This scans like dark matter, wrapped around an artificial gravity well.
Oh, don't worry if it doesn't fit. Just jam it in there.
Pressure's increasing, but the pipes are still holding. We need more.
Incoming exiles. Crack your knuckles and rack your slides.
I was hoping it wouldn't come to this, but they seem intent on a fight. Their leader doesn't sound like he's crazed or confused. He has an agenda and a voice to wield it.
Seen a lot of those types in my time.
Maybe we could still reason with him. Lavask, the House of Exiles and the Ionians used to be allies. Don't turn your back on that. Let's look for a solution. Together.
It's barely holding together. This is the house's central refinery. My scans are going a little haywire, but that can't be right. These pipes are operating at alarming pressures.
Let me fill you in on a little secret. None of House Exile's gear has safety regulators. My kind of people.
Hey team, I've seen those little flying bots play hot potato delivering dark matter down to your proximity.
I have an idea. Guardian, a concentration of dense matter could send the whole system over the edge. Let's look for those shanks. You were right, Lodi. This scans like dark matter, wrapped around an artificial gravity well.
Sounds like the type of thing that'd make a nice loud rattle inside some heavy machinery, don't it, hero? Oh, don't worry if it doesn't fit. Just jam it in there.
Pressure's increasing, but the pipes are still holding. We need more.
Incoming exiles. Crack your knuckles and rack your slides.
Their leader doesn't sound like he's crazed or confused. He has an agenda and a voice to wield it.
Seen Seen a lot of those types in my time.
Maybe we could still reason with them.
It's barely holding together. One more, Guardian.
Entomb the Deathless! Protect our ascension!
Well now, that went, great.
It did. We learned the house centers around this giver. Watch your flank, Guardian.
Ionians want us truth blind, to keep the anomaly's sight from Elixni eyes. Our voice is a raised spear, arc sparking. Sealed against the black space sea. Our banner, we suffer. All.
This is the house's central refinery. My scans are going a little haywire, but that can't be right. These pipes are operating at alarming pressures.
Let me fill you in on a little secret. None of House Exile's gear has safety regulators. My kind of people.
You were right, Lodi. This scans like dark matter, wrapped around an artificial gravity well.
Oh, don't worry if it doesn't fit. Just jam it in there.
Pressure's increasing, but the pipes are still holding. We need more.
Incoming Exiles. Crack your knuckles and rack your slides.
Their leader doesn't sound like he's crazed or confused. He has an agenda and a voice to wield it.
Seen a lot of those types in my time.
Maybe we could still reason with them.
It's barely holding together. One more, Guardian.
Entomb the Deathless! Protect our ascension!
Well now, that went, great.
It did. We learned the house centers around this giver. Watch your flank, Guardian.
human lies. Ionians want us truth blind, to keep the anomaly's sight from Elixir eyes. Our voice is a raised spear, arc sparking. See it against the black space sea. Our banner. We suffer. All suffer.
I came here thinking these elixirs were poisoned and needed help. But this... like a bunch of holy rollers.
More exiles between you and the exit.
This Archon has a stranglehold on his people. They're gonna follow him right into the grave.
I have seen your doom. Your fall. Spread across many visions, many possibilities. Only one must strike true.
That pilot I spoke to, he mentioned the Archon, Lavask, wasn't always the leader of the house. But one day he starts getting visions, next he gets a taste for politics.
A gift from his giver.
The giver and the singularity sound like synonyms, but I can't see how a black hole gives anyone anything.
Given what we know, my hypothesis is that the source of the Holy Singularity, as the Ionians call it, and the Exile's giver are one and the same.
Ikora, the Nine invited us here. It was 3. The thought just... it's like it unlocked in my head.
The Nine. 3. They didn't just bring us here to deal with the Archon. The Nine are extra-dimensional beings. They're connected to the celestial bodies of our solar system.
What does the planet care about a single Elixni? Either way, we need to neutralize the threat he poses to the Ionians. I've seen leaders like Lavask before. He doesn't want a war. He just can't look weak in front of his people. Guardian, I spoke with my informant again. That ship we cut the power to, the Archon's on it. We stopped it from being operational, but he's determined to get it airborne. In between giving intel, he mentioned there have been Elixni on Earth for centuries.
Wouldn't be the first ketch you've stormed, hero, or the first house you've toppled.
This will either draw the Archon out so we can deal with him, Or at least weaken his authority and delay whatever he's planning to do to the Singularity with that Elixni warship.
All right, hero. If the kid's lead is good, the house shouldn't be expecting you.
My lead is good. Our strangelet's here. I can feel it.
Deathless, you arrive, yes, as it was foretold. This is one of the fated clashes, my exiles. Our prime will metal test the Deathless. It is blessed with the Giver's powers. House of Exile will defend it until the end. Sooner to die, sooner to ascend, and be cradle-kept in the Giver's embrace.
I was hoping this would get their attention. Next time we have a quiet moment, I want to try to get them talking. It's worked before.
There's a high concentration of dark matter running through this facility.
Could the Prime Servitor be integrating it into the House's Arc network?
Whatever the Archon's planning, he must need the Servitor.
That's a good angle to apply pressure. I'll work it. Do you feel it, Lavask? Walls are closing in. If the Deathless destroys your house's Prime Servitor, how can you be favored by the Giver?
Our Prime stands in defiance of the Deathless, in service of its holy Archon. It will be reborn and ascend into the timeless space.
Sounds pretty fishy to me, kid.
Admit it, Lavask, you're a false prophet. And right now, you're terrified, because your plan won't work without your servitor.
Only my vision shows the path. My ever faithful, I will deliver your promised ascension.
Archon, how do you plan to ascend without the Strangelet? It's all falling apart, isn't it?
We are cunning. In the depths unreachable, we prepare our voyage. You believe you stopped us? You cannot stop our fated harvest.
You're not dropping that without getting shredded, hero.
Maybe we can bypass it, like the earlier barriers.
Lodi, it appears your lead checks out. Here's our prime servitor, and the energy signature coming off of it matches the singularity.
It's definitely holding the Strangler capsule we're looking for.
I told you my intel was reliable. Now, you take out the servitor, and I'll get the Archon to talk.
Got a whole flock of smaller servitors buzzing around. Damn, they're everywhere.
They're like watchdogs. We'll have to clear them out to get to the Prime.
Draw them away from the generator and scrap them. That servitor tripped some kind of magnetic lockdown.
It's cut off from the generator. Shield down.
Can your flesh withstand a dissection, Atomic? Visions of your scattering come to be.
I'm picking up more servitors flooding in. We'll need to take them out.
I know you're listening, Lavask. I know your people are too. They're watching the Deathless shed light on your lies, doubting you.
Our catch takes flight. Our drills tipped with the Giver's power. Into the singularity we ascend!
Another shield generator is vulnerable.
stomach's turning. That's another shield down. Push into the singularity, and those rumors of using a powered-up catch were right on the money. Lo hice. Thank you for your cooperation.
One more time, Guardian.
Generator's tight. Looks like there's a crawl space under the floor.
We'll find a way through.
Storm with cloud liars at your back. You rape what is not yours and break what others build. See what they take from us, my family. My house, stand with your Archon against the deathless blight. Protect the Giver. Protect your holy servitor.
It's over, Lavask. Your Prime Servitor is lost, and we have its Strangelet capsule.
I reject this. We reject this. A defeat here was always a possibility, Met. Just one of the many paths to the grand design. I am victorious. Exiles victorious. We are fated to conquer the deathless. Defeat looms for those who reject the Giver's embrace. You will see, as I have seen. Exiled children of Lavask, the Giver's arms await us. We will bore into the timeless space and ascend
Timeless space. They want to go into the black hole. Make it big enough so they can all go through? That's ascension?
Look at this coward, running off every line he can think of. We might have broken him.
But you picked that up? They're gearing up to try to harvest a member of the Nine. I have no earthly idea how, but it can't be good.
You dismantled that con like a pro, kid. Got him spilling everything, just to save face. Nice work.
Thanks for the assist.
One Prime Servitor down, one capsule in the Guardian's hand.
And one Strangelet to help stabilize Kepler. We're not out of the woods yet, but every bit helps to stop that singularity from growing.